My name is Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. To support this YouTube channel, go to my Patreon link below. I want to explain something to people who watch my YouTube channel. This is a channel for people, in many ways, for people who don't like the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party and the Democratic National Committee. That goes for people of all spectrums within the political arena. So if you are a Democrat or if you are a progressive who has been cheated by the DNC, you'll like my channel. If you're a Republican who just doesn't like the Democratic National Committee, you'll like my channel. If you're an independent that wants to break up banks, reinstate Glass-Steagall, implement single payer, or you respect and admire Bernie Sanders, Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard, or you think the draft Bernie for the People's Party is a good idea like I do, or you think the Green Party has some great policies, then check out my channel, watch this channel. This is not Slate, certainly not the Daily Beast, and I think that I give a unique perspective, Tim Black and Nico House give a unique perspective, something that TYT doesn't understand. The Young Turks will just parrot and repeat everything the DNC and the Democratic Party tells people, just in an edgier way. Certainly, TYT will never talk about this. There's a Democratic congressman. This is on Twitter. I'm not going to make it personal. I won't bring up his name, but it's on Twitter. And it's 2,717 retweets just in a couple hours. And 6,797 likes. And you have people who are agreeing with this. I'll read you what he wrote. Our 11-year-old just asked if President Trump was part Russian. That would really be funny if it wasn't so really scary. First of all, look what's taking place in our society because a Democratic Party needs a gigantic therapy session, nationwide therapy session, because Hillary Clinton spent $1.2 billion losing, burning that money, losing to Trump, who spent $600 million. She outspent him 2-1 after cheating the most progressive candidate, Bernie Sanders, who would have easily defeated Trump. DNC lawsuit, which Cenk Uygur refuses to take a stand on. Wonder why. The DNC lawsuit is about the DNC cheating Bernie Sanders voters to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. So they stole that money. Now you have Democratic congressman, unbelievable, talking about his 11-year-old asking if President Trump was part Russian. First of all, I have a son and I have a daughter. And my wife and I, we would never allow our children to succumb or to be influenced or to be around this disgusting propaganda, both left and right. Once you allow children, or once you, as a society, once you promote a narrative that Trump won because Russia stole the election, you're teaching children, you're brainwashing in a way, and you're teaching children how to circumvent responsibility. If you lose, find a way to win. Don't complain about it for, it's May 10th. When people say, oh, HA, why are you obsessed, quote unquote, over Hillary? This is all about Hillary Clinton losing. And she would still lose today, the Washington Post had a poll. She still loses to Trump in the election if the election were held several weeks ago. Now Comey being fired is this plot. So this Democratic congressman was quoting somebody, the optics of firing the FBI director, investigating your Russia ties, then meeting the Russian FM on the very next day, defy easy description. No, actually, he has nothing to hide, Trump, because he didn't steal the election, because the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, and even CrowdStrike initially are all moderately to highly confident in their narrative. Nobody is certain of anything. So when people want to say, oh, this is just like when Nixon, no. Watergate, there was a crime and a cover-up. There's no crime here. The crime with Hillary Clinton was that she put special access program intelligence on an unencrypted server, but she was too stupid to be indicted. That's the big issue. But when people, and so there was a crime, there was evidence, And then there was no intent, Comey. It wasn't his job to see if there was intent or not. That's the job of a prosecutor and a grand jury. But the issue here is you have a congressman saying, our 11-year-old just asked me if President Trump was part Russian. That would really be funny if it wasn't so really scary. What if he was part Russian, Congressman? What if he was part Russian? Who cares? What do you... the Democratic Party, have they even considered what they're doing to the Russian-American community? The negative impact they're having on Russian Americans throughout the country? Have you ever considered that when you rail on the right wing's xenophobia and racism, that when you use your own brand of xenophobia as a blankie or security or some kind of therapy session because you lost, cheated, then lost, then forced people like CNN and the Young Turks and the Washington Post to kind of rally around your side and still lost? Have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, Hillary Clinton was not only a pathological liar, who, when she lied, it was, oh, she has a public and private stance, but now everyone cares about lying? Have you ever thought that perhaps you are completely corrupt, unethical, immoral, and engaged in illegal activities? Have you ever thought that if you didn't cheat Bernie, we'd have Bernie Sanders, President Sanders, and you'd be talking about implementing single payer and not what would take place if Trump takes away people's health care? Have you ever thought of that, Congressman? This is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And it's disgusting not because I am judging anyone else's parenting skills, because I'm not saying this congressman is a worse parent or better parent than anybody. I'm not saying I'm a better parent than anybody. I'm saying that the second you bring up kids, the second you put your kids or you discuss how children are affected by the flawed, fabricated propaganda that your political party is spewing, then you've kind of crossed the line. The children of this country should be protected from the nasty, disgusting propaganda of both left and right. In this case, the Democratic Party has equated being Russian or speaking to a Russian with something bad, but Clinton and Obama signed off on 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to Russia. They're accusing others of actually what they potentially could be. You want to talk about Russian spies? The Podesta group actually worked for the Kremlin. You want to talk about money changing hands between Russia and a Democrat? $500,000. This was in the New York Times, not fake news, because the New York Times is real news. Bill Clinton was paid $500,000 for a Moscow speech. Comey didn't fire, Trump didn't fire Comey because he wants to put in his own FBI director because he's just so afraid of Trump Russia. If you had anything, Adam Schiff, you would have impeached him already. This is all to equate Hillary Clinton's numerous crimes, the Democratic National Committee's numerous crimes, which, by the way, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, George Webb talked about the criminal probe going on right now with DWS and her staffers, tech staffers. You can't be a Democrat without a criminal probe. And there are so many criminal issues that they fabricated the Trump-Russia thing to circumvent talking about real issues, like breaking up banks, so we don't have another financial collapse. See, that's what I focus on. You won't hear anything about breaking up banks or banning fracking or reinstating Glass-Steagall or ending wars from the Daily Beast. The neoliberals have lost it, completely lost it, bringing children into the equation now. Once you do that, your propaganda has gone from just silly to nefarious, and it's disgusting. Give me your thoughts below. If there's a child out there, and you look at the tweet, I'll put the tweet below, so this is documented. 2,718 retweets. Then you have people, my 13-year-old Canadian daughter asked why the U.S. hasn't put the traitor in jail yet. Okay, so you have my 12-year-old saw we're going to leave the U.S. Trump is ruining it. Okay, so you're telling your kids this nonsense. You are negatively impacting your kids with this nonsense. It's one thing to kind of say, okay, well, this is what I want, you tell your children the policies that you have. But then to promote this disgusting narrative that Trump is Russian, so therefore he's a spy or a traitor, when you still haven't proved anything, you don't have any evidence that Trump or WikiLeaks or anyone worked with Russia. The DNC, just so you know, Democrats, brainwashed Democrats who cheated Bernie Sanders. The Podesta emails and the WikiLeaks DNC emails showed massive corruption, and we have a freaking right to know. So instead of actually trying to hide from that, why don't you just fix the corruption instead of justifying it and saying it's a Russian plot? Give me your thoughts below. Democratic congressman on Twitter says his 11-year-old, I'll read it to you again. Our 11-year-old just asked me if President Trump was part Russian. What would that matter? That would really be funny if it wasn't so really scary. Why would it be scary if he was part Russian? I want to know why. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so much for listening.